All right, third time's the charm. We tried this 3 times already. You guys might not know that, but I had it on unlisted and I fixed it, and it still gave me some problems. So I'm not going to say the same thing I said 3 times in a row. So now it's something completely different. You missed what I said the first time and the second time, and now we're on to the third time. So we are on Friday Night Live here with me, your host, Chris, in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. Hope everybody else is having a great night. And the night went by pretty fast because it's already almost 11 o'clock. Is it? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock where I am, at least. Hopefully it works for real this time. I made the mistake of going live while it was on unlisted. Tried to fix that. Didn't want to fix, and now here we are. Are we live or are we not? I don't know. This is confusing. It says we're live. 54, 55, 56. I'll sit here for a few more minutes and talk to myself. So start streaming, stop streaming. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? It's finally warming up here. Please let me know that I'm not talking to myself. My stream health is low. What's going on, YouTube? Tell me what's going on. After Dark live stream. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get outside, take a walk or something. I gotta get some fresh air, take the dogs out. It says we're live. It says some people are watching, but can somebody at least say something in here so I know that you guys can see it? Now we got a green stream, which means good results. Nope, now it went back to orange. So I'm not really sure what's going on at all here. There's one way to find out, though. Come over here. Bam. There's one way to find out. Oh, you know what? That's weird. I can see over here everybody's comments, but over here I can see nothing. Way to go, YouTube. Way to go. Refresh, and there we go. There's everybody's comments. So weird. Meanwhile, I don't think it's working. Everybody's talking to me, but I didn't see anybody's questions or comments. I was ready to turn it off and go away. Okay, so at least now we can hear each other. Is the picture coming in good? All that good stuff. There, all right. Anyway, how's everyone doing? 3 minutes in. I messed up the first 2 streams. You know, you mess one stream up and I think it affects the rest of your streams, and that's what I think happened. I accidentally went live with it on unlisted. I fixed it, went right back on, didn't work, turned it off, came back, and I didn't see anything. So I don't know. Do you guys still think we need to do these every night? Close to every night? Do you guys want to do these every night? I didn't really do too much today. I slept the day away, but I went to sleep very, very late, so I still got the normal average hours of sleep. I just woke up very late and got a few things done. But I feel like I need to be more productive. Does anybody else feel that way? You liked the pizza video? Yeah, I was talking to Craig today, and I'm not sure if the Ethernet cord is actually going to work now or at all. Because I couldn't get a decent connection on my computer on the Wi-Fi, but I got a fine connection on my phone on the Wi-Fi. So that's just really weird to me. Also, there's no Ethernet port on my MacBook. I just remembered. So I'm not really sure how to make how to live stream from my kitchen with my good camera, as you know. And I knew this, but you know, we had to do something. I don't have a widescreen. You know, I guess I could get an adapter, but I don't have a widescreen for my iPhone, so you guys couldn't see everything that I was doing on the table. And it was pulled back as far as I could pull it back. So, yeah, I don't know. You have a 20-mile hike planned for tomorrow? That sounds awesome. I want to do that. But yeah, I really liked doing the video yesterday, the live stream, until Zeke basically said, "You gotta cut it short, man. You gotta watch me because I'm just crazy. Just watch me." So that's what I had to do. Yeah, the Ethernet fund. I don't know if that's gonna do it, to be honest. And that's what I was wondering. Craig seemed to think it was gonna work, but then when we talked about it again, we're not quite sure right now. Maybe I need an adapter and we'll try it anyway. But AJ, thank you for the Ethernet fund, $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. If it's not the Ethernet, I'll figure it out and I'll use that funds towards whatever it is that I need to do to upgrade the stream. I ate most of the pizza. And I made bread with the rest of it, which was really good. Came out really good. I have no idea how much that would cost. I don't think it would be too much for an Ethernet cord, but I might need an adapter. If that doesn't work, I will return that and try to figure out what it is that I need. You know, you would think that a MacBook Pro, which isn't too old, maybe it's maybe 4 or 5 years old, would be able to do the job to stream, you know, just a video stream onto YouTube. But that doesn't seem to be working, so I slept right. I was planning on watching Craig's and I slept right through it. I went back and I watched most of it. Yeah. I try not to do it on the phone. It's the quality's not as good on the phone. I mean, I have a nice camera in front of me, so I really wish I could use it at this point. You know, I've been doing these videos now for what, 11 years? I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to do that, but it just wasn't working. And I just really, 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 really don't want to take my desktop and bring it all the way downstairs and try to stream it that way, because it's just, you know, that might be, I don't know. Craig has he doesn't have a MacBook, but he's got a pretty nice gaming computer, which would be able to do that. I don't know why my computer, it was very glitchy and laggy, and I can't do a live stream like that. You would think now in 2020 it would just work. You plug it all together and it would work. I mean, these were things I was having problems with like years and years and years ago. So I don't know. Let's see. Lori says, "What does your weekend look like?" I am very bad at making plans. I'm very spontaneous, so we'll find out as it happens. I like things happen with me as they happen in real time. I really don't like planning things because so often plans just don't work out. So, but yeah, I will, you know, I mean, now that it's not frigid cold here anymore, it still gets chilly, but today was pretty nice, from what I recall. I was, again, sleeping most of the day. But yeah, I like to take late night walks like this with my dogs. So they will be going for a walk probably a little bit after the stream is over. And, plan on doing that all weekend, at least, at the very minimum. My mom and dad, they are doing well. I called today because I was looking for some mail that I couldn't find. My credit card expired today, and everybody's like, "Oh, your credit card expired. I guess you want to cancel this." So I had to find that, and the bank said, "Oh, you know what? We already sent you your new credit card." And I'm like, "Dang." So then I called my parents. I'm like, "Hey, do I have any mail over there?" And I ended up finding it and updating my credit card. So more like a debit card. I try not to use too much credit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so my parents are doing good. Vegan Life Carrie donates $5 to the super chat. Thank you, Carrie. And Carrie says, first time doing super chat. Just wanted to send something. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Carrie and AJ, thank you for the super chats. Yeah, I agree, Rebalancer. The MacBook, they are definitely overpriced. I like it for what it is, and it, when I travel, I edit and everything under Final Cut Pro. So I prefer to edit on my desktop under Premiere. But it's great when I travel. I can do everything and bring it with me. And at one point I was getting so used to just doing that. It was like the lazy edit. I would wake up and I would be able to work straight from my bed. I would grab my computer, open it, and just start editing whatever video I had to do. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm done with that part of my work today. Now it's time to get up out of bed. And that was a good feeling for a little while. Yeah, we streamed last night, late last night on Twitch. Did some EQ with Rebalancer, and that was pretty fun. Hopefully I can level up. A lot of you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Yep, I'm also glad my mom and dad are doing great. Thank you, Matthew. It costed $100 to start your website. That was probably for the domain and the hosting space. I'm assuming. No plans is good plans, because then your plans are never ruined. You just that's how I live life. Is my sister vegan too? Yes, my sister is also vegan. All of my siblings are vegan. My two brothers went vegetarian shortly after I did, so they're long-time vegetarians. And then my youngest brother was the next one to go vegan, and I think that was like 9 or 10 years ago. And then my other brother, he went vegan. He told his vegan story on my Vlogmas videos, and I forgot what he said. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago he went vegan. And then my sister went vegan, I think 2 or 3 years ago. So they're all vegan. Did I leave my group on EQ? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Did I leave my group? You made pizza for dinner. It turned out great. Thanks for all the tips. Watch Craig today too. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad your pizza turned out great. Hi, Karen from Ontario. There's a lot of ways to make your own vegan cheese. We have a few really good videos for it, depending on what kind of cheese you want. Cashews is a good one if you want. You can have like a liquidy cheese that you kind of like a cheese sauce, or you can use agar agar and make a firm one. and then slice it up or shred it or whatever you want to do. There's a few different ways. We have some interesting, pretty delicious recipes on our channel. And I think there's one in my cookbook. Just a very simple one. You could just, blend up some cashews with some different spices and some nutritional yeast. That's probably the easiest to make. Put it in a little squirt bottle and squirt it on a pizza. I'm the zombie cure. Well, I mean, that was what I alluded to in my, this is what the vegan zombie is about. And it's funny because I keep seeing, like, I just watched a YouTube video about how these people, I gotta try to remember what the actual medical term is. It's something like cystic cytosis or something. And it's from eating undercooked pork. Much like my premise of my vegan zombie movie, these people are they're having seizures and forgetting things and becoming dizzy and forgetting the concept of time, space. They are basically becoming zombies, and by eating this undercooked pork, they're getting parasites eating away at their brain, burrowing in their brain, and making like holes in their brain. Gross, really gross stuff, but very, very similar to the whole concept of the vegan zombie. You know, you eat the meat and the dairy, and that's how infection starts out. So the vegans are one step ahead. But yeah, that's the whole thing, is like, you know, people that are, you know, mindless zombies, and alluding to the fact, you know, making the analogy that, you know, they don't really think about what they're eating. They know what it is, but they don't really think too much about how it got from point A to point B. They just see it on their plate and they eat it. You know, just how we're all taught to, you know, here from an early age in this country. So, yeah, it's the both, you know, fictional part of it, you know, the zombie part, but also, you know, the realistic part of it as well. I feel the same way, Lynn. I don't know how anyone can eat it either. I don't know. It's like it's weird because I can't think of what I'm trying to really say here, but I don't know if like an OCD tick or something that kind of, it's like, oh man, how can people do that? How can you take that and eat it? They're putting it in their mouth, they're chewing it, they're swallowing. It's gross. Yeah. Hey, Laura. Yeah, I mean, there's so many diseases that are spread from meat. And, I mean, we have the whole pandemic, which is highly suspect. And, yeah, people still want to eat meat. And it's like, what else do we need to do to show you guys that this isn't, it shouldn't be done. We shouldn't be consuming it. You don't hear these kind of things from people eating broccoli. Plants and seeds and stuff like that. Yep, mad cow disease. Spongiform encephalitis or something. I mean, yeah, it's really very, very simple. The way I see it, at least, is I don't consider animal products to be food. And when you don't consider them to be food, like really just make the analogy. And I often show you guys like I can't eat or drink my water bottle because it's not edible, but that's the same way I feel about animal products. If you tell yourself you can't eat it because it's not edible, then your brain starts to stop craving things or wanting things or saying, well, there's nothing really else to eat right now, so I'm just going to eat this. No, because it's not food. You wouldn't say, like, I'm hungry, there's nothing else to eat, so I'm going to eat these pair of headphones over here. You would say, no, I need to figure out do I have anything in the refrigerator that I can eat, or do I need to go to the store? Whatever the case is. I think a lot of people just don't think that way, and they think convenience and it's there, and I've been doing it all my life, so let's just keep doing it. But once you just get away from that and you make that connection, you make that realization, it's been so easy, I mean, it really is. It's so easy. But it is what you make of it too, like if you say it's going to be hard, then it's going to be hard. But it's really not. It's going to be good in all areas of your life if you do this. So just do it. Do it. That is true, Matthew. Different parts of the world or different areas of the world, different people, different cultures eat different things. But, just because people do that doesn't mean it's right, I mean, everyone can stop eating animals. Culture doesn't really dictate what you have to do and what you have to continue to do. All the foods that my family for generations have made have not been vegan. I'm the first one to implement, hey guys, let's start doing this instead of that. And I gotta say, I'm not forceful or anything with the public, with you guys, but with my family, I sure am. I'm a little different around my family, and I'm not afraid to speak up and say things to my family because they are my family and I love my family, and I just don't want to see them eat animals. Good evening, Anthony. Yeah, you know what? And that's great, Linda, that you've been vegan for 2 years, and just, sometimes just you got family members that just will never do it, and that's, in my case, that's my dad. And I've been trying since I was, yeah, I've been trying since I was in high school. Oh yeah, that never ever, that I just, I've heard about that, the buckets of blood for the black pudding, oh, yuck, the coagula, people do that, people eat that. Yeah, my dad is pretty set in his tradition and ways. Although, in the last few years, he's at least tried vegan things. And that made me happy because, I mean, at least for that meal, he was eating all vegan. And I remember one time it really surprised me when I made a pizza and he would never touch my pizza. And so I didn't even ask him. I didn't, because he always says no. and I made some. I gave some to my mom, and then my dad said, "You got some for me?" I'm like, "Yeah. You want some?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he ate like 2 pieces of it, and I was super happy. Good morning, Ash. You know, I saw my dad eating a banana one day, and I raced to take out my phone and get the camera up and snap a picture. My dad was eating a banana. Oh, Daniel, I wish my dad would also. I wish that would help him. If I put on a documentary or something in my house, he would just like walk away and go in his room or something. Yeah, your dad's a little bit older than my dad. No, really, my dad just yeah, he's got a very awful diet. My dad's about 9 years younger than your dad. How is everything? Like as in everything in the world? Like how's what? Everything what? Everything bagels? What are my favorite books? I like Dungeons and Dragon books, fantasy books. I'm not too much of a reader. I mean, I am reading. I'm reading all the time. I'm not in a book. Like I'm reading things here on the internet. Most of my time I'm either editing or making videos if I have free time or um, yeah, I haven't sat and read a book in a very long time. No, no, I wish my dad was vegan. My dad is not vegan. Do I like romantic books? I don't think I've ever read a romantic book other than Dracula. Yeah, so I know that I'm never going to get my dad to go vegan, but I still do what I can to say, hey, try this or try that. Maybe he'll eat this or maybe he'll eat that. Death Vader comics? You mean Darth Vader comics? Nope, not even those. But I have watched a bunch of like canon behind the story, behind like more information about Darth Vader on the internet. It's pretty interesting. A little bit of both. She'll cook. Sometimes he will eat the things that she makes, and sometimes she'll cook him food. But most of the time, he'll make his own food, which isn't. It's fast food and TV dinners. Pretty much all my life is what. Yeah, very unhealthy food. No color. No greens, no veggies. He'll do potatoes. Yeah, I mean, going vegan would be the best thing to do after an open heart surgery. The video is lagging for you, Sean? Is the video lagging for anybody else, or is it just you if you have to refresh? The guy who was Darth in the films. Yeah, he kind of got shunned by the whole Lucas. No leg? Okay. So it might just be you, Sean. Yeah, the guy that played Darth Vader. There's a whole documentary on him. Oh, he just died? I didn't know that. There was a whole documentary on him on Netflix. It was pretty good. All right, everybody. Everybody else has good audio and video, and I like to hear that. But I'm sorry, Sean, that you're having problems. Yeah, the guy in the Darth Vader suit. He lives over in the UK, or unless he did die. I forget his name, but he was like a bodybuilder back in the day, and he was Darth Vader, and he used his voice, and he didn't know all the way up until he sat in the theater to watch it that they cut his voice right out of it, and he was super mad. They went in and put James Earl Jones's voice in there. So he didn't even know that he was Luke's father at the point. The only ones that knew were Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones. It is warming up over here in Syracuse. Eleni, thank you for the super chat, $5. What is your favorite fruit? I'm loving gold kiwi fruit in the winter. I love kiwi fruit too, but my favorite fruits would probably be a really, really good orange, like a Cara orange, or a really good watermelon. And when I say really good, because sometimes you can have ones that are off that don't really taste good, but a really, really delicious watermelon, orange, or a mango. Those are my like three really, really go-to. Probably the orange, though. I really can snack on a whole bag of oranges. Oh, your friends interviewed him? Yeah, I felt bad for him. They did a whole new scene because when they finally took his mask off, they used another person. So he never got his face shown. And then something went on with like, him and George Lucas when he got mad about it or something. And all of the Star Wars conventions, he was never invited to any of them. So that's sad, because he was the original Darth Vader for the first three of them. Do I still eat bananas and watermelon? Yes, but I haven't had a watermelon in a little bit. No one asked you, but yours are cepadillas. No, I never made an orange salsa, but we made mango salsa in one of our videos. But if I don't have a lemon or a lime, when I would normally put that in some kind of dish I'll use orange. So I do that often. I just did it a couple days ago. I forgot what I made though. Yeah, there's there was some pretty good videos out there just on like Darth Vader and like when he fought Obi-Wan, and I mean it was pretty brutal if you guys are into any of that stuff, but there's a lot about his suit that we just didn't know. They don't talk about in the movie. My mom always used to eat grapefruits when I was little, but she would put cottage cheese in it. Nasty. When I was younger, the only way I could eat a grapefruit is if I put a ton of sugar on it. Cherries are good. I like the sweet cherries that you would put on sundaes when I was little, But now I like, a nice bag of raw cherries. Yes, David Prowse, yeah. Okay, he is still alive. Then who died? Okay. Han definitely shot first, but Guido Guido said that he was going to. He threatened him. He said he was going to. He said over my dead body, and he said that's the point or something, and then he shot him. But yeah. Frozen grapes. I never liked strawberries when I was younger. And even now, like, they're okay, but they're not my favorite. I remember when I was younger, I would always go up into the woods when I was probably like 9, 10, 11. Go up into the woods with my friends because we lived in like out, kind of in the middle of nowhere. In a little neighborhood, but beyond the neighborhood were these woods that would go up, forever. And we would always adventure in the woods. And I would take like, I was a Cub Scout too, but I would like, take my like, I'd wear my army pants and I'd like have a knife on me and like all this stuff. And I remember one day we found just like patches and patches of blackberries and I think raspberries. And we're like, oh wow, look at these. And we just started eating them. They were like really good. So we came back up like the next day with like buckets and we filled them and we came back and my mom made pies with them and like the neighbors and we all ate the pie and that was just that was fun. That was a fun memory. Vegan chocolate covered cherries. I went to my friend's wedding, the one where I met. Well, I didn't meet him. I've already met him, but the one where I hung out with. Oh no, that is when I first met him. Bobcat Goldthwait, and they had vegan chocolate. I think was that the one I went to. The chocolate fountain. And we could make vegan s'mores and strawberries with chocolate, and that was fun. Mulberries outside. I had mulberries. There was a mulberry tree at this park I went to last summer with Craig. We went out for a run, and then when we were done, we were just picking the mulberries off the tree and eating them. You hate apples too? I really got to be in the mood to eat an apple. But they grow all over around here. Pawpaw fruit? Is that like a mushroom? What planet are they from? It depends what kind of apple you get, because there's a whole different kinds of a whole different slew of apples, from very tart to sweet to papaya. Okay, yeah. Apples and cinnamon, cooked apples and cinnamon. There were just apple trees everywhere where I lived, and we would just have like an apple fight. Instead of a snowball fight, we'd be throwing apples at each other. But these were like crab apples and stuff, like up in the woods, deep in the woods. Oh, I've been to Fredonia College before. Oh, a mango and an avocado. Weird. I don't know if I would like that. Mango avocado. Your wife bought giant marshmallows to make s'mores? I mean, it's almost that time of year, isn't it? Well, next month is going to be summer. Wow. It still feels like winter. No, actually, it's pretty, it got pretty warm out here today. For where I live, at least. But right now it's in the 40s. Yeah, I've had papaya. I was never too much into cantaloupe, but my mom always ate cantaloupe. Wait a minute. No, she put the cottage cheese in the cantaloupe. She didn't put it in her, I don't think she put it in the grapefruit. I do like avocado. Kanzi apples? I'm not really sure. Kanzi or Kanzi? Yeah, Belle, I love some nice grapes. Sitting down, watching some Netflix while I'm eating my grapes or my oranges. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that we're hearing all these. A meat processing facility in Australia has a COVID cluster. That seems to be happening in a lot of different meat places. Burnt s'mores. Burnt s'mores are. The, I like them burnt. Actually, I'm not too big on marshmallows, so s'mores aren't my favorite. But if it's got enough chocolate to take over the marshmallow, then what are my favorite old PC games like back in 2000, 2003? 2000, 2003. That wouldn't be too old for me. Like old would be like 80s, 90s. Um wow. What did I Well, I remember after Commodore 64, which was probably in the late 80s, early 90s for me. I forget what kind of computer we got, but I played now this was I think it was through this is I can't even remember everything. It was just a weird but it was like the first like kind of like online kind of Dungeon and Dragon-y kind of game, and I think it was through America Online, and it was called Eserbia, and it was spelled with like a Y, Eserbia. Um, and there wasn't really any graphics. It was just like you would see what you were doing, I think. And I used to play that. But before King's Quest, uh, Space Quest, Police Quest, Zach McCracken, Maniac Mansion. Trying to think if I mean, but then PlayStation came out, and I would play Blood Omen, the vampire game. That was really fun. And then Soul Reaver, I think, was a sequel to that. That was good. I think that the PlayStation was the last gaming console I ever bought. PlayStation 1. And then then I found EverQuest. And I found EverQuest in 2001 when I was at University of Florida, going to school down there. And that just basically took over my life, and I had no time to even look at any other games when I was playing EverQuest. And that lasted until about 2004 or 5, and then I got into EverQuest. I mean, World of Warcraft. And then in 2000, and then I played that religiously until 2009 when I thought up the concept for my YouTube channel, The Vegan Zombie. And then after that, I stopped playing games altogether because I just couldn't justify wasting any time to play a game when I could be learning how to grow my channel and learn to make videos and stuff like that. So I took all of my time at that point and I just put it right into this channel, well, the Vegan Zombie channel, and stopped playing. And I stopped playing all the way up until about a year ago. And then I'm like, you know what? Because all I did was work. And I love my job. I love what I do. So it wasn't like a job for the longest time. And then finally I was like, I got to have something that I'm doing other than just working all the time. So I started playing Warcraft again. And that was okay. And then I tried EverQuest when I found P99, which was Project 1999. The original EverQuest Classic. Free to play, and a bunch of old school players that loved the game got permission from the company to play it, to put it up there, to put the servers back up, as long as they weren't profiting from it or anything like that. So that's what I'm currently playing on Twitch. What is your degree? Oh, you're talking about my degree. I have a bachelor's of science in criminal justice. And I almost had a minor in science because I loved science. I did so many science classes, but I think I was like 1 or 2 courses shy of that because I hate math, but I love science. All right. Yeah, see, even Linda's saying EverQuest is so fun, and she's never even played it. But you've been to all of the live streams. I know, same here. It sounds better than a BA. Yeah, I've got a BS degree. It's just a BS degree that I've really never used. No, I literally, I mean, I did use it for a little bit, but barely. And I don't use it now. I'm still paying for it. Mantis, I hate science. I mean, I hate math. I hate math so bad. I can do it if I do it every day. But who wants to do math every day? Now, my brother, on the other hand, he's a genius at math. He was a tutor and everything. He's got an advanced degree in it. So, me, hated math. That was one of the things. As soon as I was done, I'm like, I never have to do math again. Yes, Belle, you need to, so buy the right kind of tofu, buy the extra firm, the kind that's in the refrigerated section, and follow my how to cook tofu right video. Just make that. Hopefully you'll like it. My youngest brother has a degree, he's got an MBA and a degree in music theory. And my other brother has like a math degree. I don't really know exactly what it is. And I think he's got like a master's in some kind of computer science. I don't know. They work in intelligence. But yeah, he can still, like, I'll be like, do you even know what this is or how to do it? He's like, oh yeah, you do this. Oh, there's your answer. I'm like, jeez. Wait, do what? Do what? Oh, yeah, make the tofu. Make the tofu. I have a video on how to make tofu. So if you do try tofu, cook it right. Because I believe you said that you took the silken tofu last time, and that's like really mushy and nasty. It's not for eating like that. It's for more like baking or making desserts or blending up. Lynn, you're gonna watch the how to make tofu right. Fun fact, that is the first video that I ever did myself when I was behind the camera, and I was very nervous to do it. But I have other videos too, how to cook tofu. So I have one where I make it in the air fryer, the tofu popcorn chicken, a few different ways to make tofu. Hi, Angela. My parents are doing good. Yeah, simple math is okay, but when you get into like advanced math and just how bad is it when I run out of that sauce? I mean, it's good to have it, you know? It's good to have it. If I don't have it, I'll use like soy sauce, but it's just not the same. You made tofu, it's too much hard work. I do want to, who was I talking to? One of you guys. I do want to make some tofu, make a video on making tofu from scratch. Yes, math and science is awesome. I'm just no good at math. I'd rather stay away from the math and let other people do the math, but it is pretty amazing. I'm going to be doing other soy curl videos. I want to do like a fajita one and a barbecue one. Maybe got to think of what we're going to do on the next. I want to try to do more of these live streams like we did yesterday. And you know, the reason for it is it's just right now what's going on, it's just I don't know. It's just easier to do the live stream and connect with you guys that way, and you know, maybe do a cooking video or just something in the kitchen. I've been watching some of Miyoko, but I haven't watched most of her videos that she's putting out there. But she's been doing live videos, like I think daily. But I did use her cheese last night. Yes, tofu is something that, you know, tofu is just very, you know, like you can make it bad, you can make it good. But like you're right, I could eat tofu every meal too, because there's so many ways to make it, and there's so many ways to make it good. Not me, Matthew, but yeah, my brothers did that. My brothers followed my dad's kind of footsteps there. Yeah, the jerky is what I want to make, Terry. Oh, you like the microphone's working really good, Anthony? That's awesome. I'm using the Blue Yeti. Ooh, I almost just unplugged it too. Blue Yeti. I got it at Best Buy. Tofu is like Bruce Lee described it. Be like water, my friend. Be like tofu. Oh, wow, we're almost at an hour. That went by fast. Wait, you got your soy curls for 20? Well, how big of a bag did you get for $25? Did you get like a deal? I like the black pepper jerky too. I mean, I can try. I think for the first, I could try different flavors. I was gonna do like a barbecue one though first to see how that came out. Time for EverQuest. Not yet. Even though it's like midnight, I want to take the dogs out for a little walk and get out and get some fresh air myself. Yeah, tofu is pretty low fat. Tofu is like straight up vegan protein. Good for you. 3 8-ounce bags. Is that a deal? They are pretty. I'm not sure how many ounces my bags are, but the bags I buy are like $4 or $5. But I heard you can buy like a whole big bag of them for way cheaper from the company, Butler. But yeah, that sucks that they're all crushed up like in pieces like dust or what do I think about India? I mean, I don't know what you mean by that question. India, it's what the second largest country by population. I like a lot of the food that's out of India. I don't know. It's like a very general question though. 10 grams. Maybe in the soy curls. I think the soy curls, but we're talking about tofu. Tofu scramble with spinach. I got a few little things of tofu to cook up at some point. I would do. Tofu is such an easy thing to make. Whether you're making, I could have put it on the pizza. I could have put it in tacos. I could have put it in a sandwich. I could make tofu scramble with it. I could eat it plain, put it on a sandwich. I've done that before. Every a lot of people try to say that tofu is bad for you, but that's simply not true at all. Tofu is actually really good for you. And the things that they're trying to say about it is it's full of estrogen, which in fact meat and dairy are full of estrogen, and tofu is not. Tofu has phytoestrogen, which is not the same chemically, and yeah, Dr. Greger does a really good video on it. Tofu is actually really good for you. We're actually talking about soy altogether. Like whole soy, soybeans, edamame, tempeh, tofu. These are things that are all really good for you. The meat and dairy industry tried to have a whole campaign years ago where they tried to say that soy was bad for you because it had something called phytoestrogen in it. It's just really funny that people that are saying this are actually eating meat and dairy that do have hormones, estrogen, stuff like that in it that they're eating. There's a nice weekend here ahead. Oh, is it going to be nice out? Brian Turner made a video where he ate tofu every day for a month. Yeah, I'll be the first to say it. Like the first thing I ever tried the day I went vegetarian was tofu, and I've been eating tofu for 30 years. And there's a lot of times in my past where I ate tofu every single day for more than a month. It was like an everyday regimen for me. Soy every day for years. All of the negative effects that people claim with soy, never saw any of those. Soy is, and that's just anecdotal evidence. Yeah, okay, well, the science also backs me up. Hispanic grocery stores sell soy curls. Isn't that what they use as like asada, vegan asada? Yes, India is really huge. Do you think the hardest thing to make would be to air fry or scramble tofu? I like to do both, but I wouldn't air fry tofu scramble. But you could make like, um, so we have a recipe for the egg trick muffin. So you're gonna make like a vegan egg patty, which is tofu, and you coat it in the seasoning for that we have the recipe for, and then you put that in the air fryer, and that comes out really really good. Ooh, you season them like pakoras. I love pakoras. Oh, Rebalancer lives in a haunted house, or used to. Hi, Deneen. Um, Belle, if you're weird about trying new things, like I just you, there's so many things out there that are so good, and I'm always trying things that are new. That I'm excited to try new things. Mostly, if I know if they're like mushrooms and stuff, I'm not excited. But most things I'm excited to try, just to find out like what else is out there. I've seen so many different things, but yeah, if you're scared to try new things, like I don't know. Try not try not to be so scared to try them out. I know you had a bad experience with the tofu, but you got the wrong one. I think you got the silken tofu, so try it the other way. There's a lot of things you can eat for calcium. That's in like leafy greens, and just eat your food. You'll I think most of the plant milks are fortified and have more calcium in it anyway than actual cow's milk. I think beans and stuff are full of calcium. But just do a quick Google search for vegan foods with calcium, and you'll find like a ton of different things that you probably didn't know had it. Baked, grilled, all kinds of different ways you can make tofu. Just don't do it with silken tofu. Jim just got back from walking the dogs. The only thing you missed is I said that I'm gonna go walk my dogs after this. You just tried the vegan feta from Violife. Yeah, they sent me like a whole block of it a couple years ago, like a big like 10-pound block of it. So I had it for a while. When you mimic your dog's voice, well, which one? I don't know how to I don't know. Indy, I'm usually like, hey, um, I'm pretty hungry right now if you guys want to go for a walk or something. I saw somebody running around. Ruff, ruff. That's Indy's voice. I can tell that the Zeke one is right outside my door right now. You loved feta. I don't think I ever had non-vegan feta. There's a lot of things I just never had because I was so young when I made the transition. And I would say that my mom would pretty much make the same dishes every week while I was growing up. And there wasn't very much variety in that. So there was a lot of dishes that I just really, really hated that I would never eat again. And I think it was last year that I finally made one of the dishes that I always hated, but I made it vegan. And it actually came out really good. But that was tuna noodle casserole. But there are a couple other ones that I wanted to do. I have a really funny story about a food that I used to like when I was little that's not vegan. But I want to make a vegan version of it. Do you guys want to hear the story? Violife blue cheese is horrid. Violife. I like their halloumi. Their halloumi is really good. Non-vegan feta is like a block of salt. Yeah, yeah. When you've made tofu for 30 years and you've messed it up enough times, you just know the right way to cook tofu. Like, I mean, I've messed up plenty of tofu in my day, but it just taught me how to, what not to do. So I'm confident that I can make delicious tofu nowadays. The tuna noodle casserole with my mom was the first video you saw. That was the dish that my mom used to make when I was young that I hated. And it's like, you can't leave the table till you eat everything on your plate. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so when I was little, I liked this. I didn't know how to say it, and I was going to a birthday party with my one of my good friends, and his birthday was a day before my birthday. And so he invited me to his party, and then I invited him to my party. And I told him what we were going to be making, what my mom's making for dinner. And so the dish was chicken cordon bleu. Okay. And I told him that. I go, my mom's making chicken cordon bleu. And he told his mom, and we were pretty little. We were probably like, I don't know, 6, 7. I have a picture of all of us together eating, but he told his mom, she goes, well, Billy, what are they having for dinner at Chris's party? He's like, I don't know, Mom. He said he's having blue chicken. She goes, well, I don't know what that is, Billy, but whatever it is, you say thank you. So he thought he was having blue chicken. But I want to make vegan chicken cordon bleu, and I will do it. Blue chicken. Yep. And maybe I'll call it blue chicken. It's like, from what I remember, and I haven't had it in over 30 years. I haven't had this dish, but it was like I think it was like a slice of ham and cheese wrapped up in chicken and breaded and seasoned and cooked like that. So I would make vegan ham and cheese and vegan chicken. I don't know if I would make it with seitan or tofu, or if we just go the Gardein way. I don't know, because it's that would probably be the simple way to make it with already vegan foods out there. I mean, hey, people are using chicken to make something, so why can't I use vegan chicken already made? Vegan Kentucky hot brown. I don't know what that is. So that was one of the meals that my mom used to make. So yeah, it was either, man, there was only certain nights that I even liked anything that they made, and that was usually like grilled cheese or tater tots. I wasn't, even before I was a vegetarian, I didn't like meat. I was always spitting it out of my napkin. Let's see, what else did she make? She would make, like, I don't think, sorry mom, I don't think she was the best cook, but she would make fettuccine alfredo and stuff, and my brother would call it fettuschetti. So maybe we can make some of that. And she still makes it today, like vegan fettuccine, the way she makes it. But yeah, like fish sticks and stuff. Oh, gross. Did not like those. Steakums. They would. Do you guys remember steakums? I don't even know if they still have them, but steakums, hot dogs, and macaroni and cheese, and it would just go like, you know, tonight is a hot dog night, tomorrow's a steakum night, and that's what it would go like every. That was dinner. That was, you know, that was in the 80s. Should you go to the Donuttery? Yeah, go there. I talked to Cesar, and he said that they actually, because people were complaining, they do have a separate fryer now, which they fry the vegan donuts. The reason why I stopped eating there is because they were doing them all in one fryer there. So I guess they got another fryer. So that's awesome. And if that's the case, yeah, go get some Donuttery. Get one of the peanut butter and jelly ones. They're so good. You never didn't believe in UFOs or aliens. Same here. I mean, that would be kind of crazy to believe that how big this universe is, which we can't fathom, by the way, and to say there's no aliens or UFOs. Nobody knew a thing about nutrition in the 80s. Not even in the 90s or even the early 2000s, I don't think. At least it wasn't really that available out there. Do I prefer the 80s to now? You know what? I can't say for sure, because I don't know. I like being me now, but I would love to be able to go back in time to the 80s, because I had so many very influential times and some of the best times of my life with the 80s. But I don't know if I would like to be stuck there. Julie, thank you again for the super chat, the $15 super chat. I appreciate that. More live cooking shows with Chris, please. Yeah, we're going to try to do more of those. I had fun doing it, so I'm glad you guys have fun too. We'll try to do more of those. But yeah, I would love to be able to go back to the 80s certain times. And I just, the one thing I didn't like about it, I didn't like the style of the 80s, to be honest. The Navy did admit to the UFOs. Actually, my dad sent me like, here's the magazine, Chris. You got to, every time I go over there, he gives me another magazine. He's like, you got to read this article right here. It's a really good article. Let me know when you read it. You were impressed by the pizza dough skills? Yeah, I've worked in so many different pizza places back in the day. I worked at a New York pizzeria, which I pretty much ended up becoming like an unofficial manager there, meaning like I did everything from prepping to making the pizzas, to cooking the pizzas, to taking the phone calls and waiting, cashing people out, and even deliveries sometimes. So I did it all there. And because I've done that, and also from other stores, I know I could run my own pizza shop. I guess the one thing I didn't do is I didn't do like the books and stuff. Because math. But the one thing that I did get of all the places that I worked, food places, was I learned how to cook even better. A lot of it was trial and error, but I learned how to cook from all the restaurants I worked in, and I learned how to basically, every time when I had to cook something or see what the ingredients in certain things were, I just learned how to veganize different things, and yeah, some of my best recipes turned out because of that. I worked at a long time ago. I worked at the Olive Garden, so I knew what was vegan and what wasn't vegan there, in case because my family would always go there, and a lot of my friends would go there, so I wanted to know what was vegan without having to like ask, hey, can you show me the ingredient? Because a lot of people just don't know. They're like, oh no, yeah, there's no meat or anything in the pasta. It's like, yeah, but can you look at the ingredients of the pasta? And unfortunately, well, things have changed since then. So what was vegan back then, some of it's not vegan now. So, but I do remember that the breadsticks were vegan, and the garlic butter that you put on it was also vegan. So that was good. But I don't know if they've changed that since then, because this was I worked there in 1997. A long time ago. You get tearful every time you hear Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. I think I was in 9th or 10th grade when that came out. Well, it was on the radio. So take these broken wings. And I remember this girl in my technology class. She got up and stood on top of the counter, and she was just like singing it. And we're like, what are you doing? This is technology class. You're not supposed to be up. No. But I do remember that from that song. Yeah, I think Olive Garden does have some soups that you can eat now. Back in the day, they didn't, because even the minestrone soup, the pasta that was in that had eggs in it, so it wasn't vegan. But you could get the pasta pomodoro, which is just like basically chopped up onion and tomatoes on your pasta. Rip off if you ask me, but it's vegan. And then you could have them make a pizza for you. Never-ending breadsticks. You know what? I remember everything. And when who'd have thunk that this would last this long? But like a good 20 years ago, I went there, and I was really shy back then. I was really shy. I would never call anybody out for anything. Like, I was just super shy. And I went there with my friends, and basically all I really wanted was the breadsticks, and like, I forget what else I was getting, but I wanted to ask if the breadsticks were like never ending or whatever. And the waitress came over to take our order, and I was like, I'm like, because I really just wanted the breadsticks and some sauce. I go, are the breadsticks never ending? And she goes, yeah, they're never ending. Like, total attitude with me. If somebody did that to me now, like, forget it. But back then I was just like, okay, I'll just get those. And like, then I was afraid to ask her for more after, like, she gave me like 2, and I'm like, can I get some more? Like, Man, I was so different back then. The one time, so I got perfect attendance for high school, like the entire all of high school, which I also had perfect attendance through middle school and most of elementary school, but they weren't counting that. They were only counting high school. And then like I had never, like I was always very punctual. Like my first jobs that I had, like never ever would I call out or anything like that. But this one day I needed off and I asked for them off and they didn't give it to me off. And I was like, I really needed that day off. And like I had never called out. I like never asked for a day off. And I just really needed that day off. I forget why. All my friends, we were all doing something. I'm like, I really needed that day off. And like I asked weeks beforehand and they didn't give it to me. And I was like, I really need that day off. And they're like, sorry, we need you. Well, you need to work. And I was a freaking janitor. It wasn't like at a travel plaza. And so, my friends were like, just call out. I'm like, I can't do that. And they're like, do it. Just call out. I'm like, I can't. There's no way I can do that. So I did. I picked up the phone. I called my manager. I'm like, hey, Scott, I can't make it in today. I got a dentist appointment. Got to go to the orthodontist, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, okay. You got an orthodontist appointment? What orthodontist do you go to do that's open on a Sunday? And I'm like, yeah, I'll just come in. That was the first and only time I tried to call out. Totally got caught for it and never tried to call out again. Jeez. Now we're talking about old school. You're so right on point, Mantis. If E.T. came out today, nobody would notice. That would be a gem that everybody would overlook. E.T. is E.T. because of when it came out. That movie was meant to come out in 1982. It came out at the perfect time. And that's, I guess it's sad that, that if another movie came out like that, most people would probably not even like recognize it for what it is. I mean, what movies do we have in the last 5 years that we think would go down in history like a movie like E.T.? Like, I can't think of any. I mean, I can think of some good movies, but an iconic movie like that, I just don't know. Where have we turned? E.T. starring Justin Bieber. Yeah. No, Jurassic Park came out way after E.T. E.T. came out in 1982. Jurassic Park, I believe, came out in early 90s, like a good 10 years later. Was it 90, 93? Or was it... That's why I say, like, E.T., like, impacted me so much. But, I truly think that if a younger kid that was my age that saw E.T., that was my age and sees it now, or even an older kid that's never seen it before, I think it would be different. I really think it would be different to see E.T. in today's day and age than seeing E.T. when it came out, and that goes for like Star Wars too. When the original Star Wars trilogy came out, New Hope and everything, if you didn't see it back in the time that it came out, you don't really appreciate it for what it was back then. Now everything is like CGI and, crazy. It's like, I actually prefer the original ones that came out in the 70s. I just saw the documentary on Back to the Future too. That was really good. how long we've been on? An hour and 25 minutes. Hey, this is my birthday. 125. What other stories do we have here? A lot of cooking stories. I worked in so many pizza places. I used to bring all the pizzas home back to my apartment when I lived in Sarasota, Florida. People would be like, "Yo, Chris, you bringing pizzas home?" And I bring dessert pizzas home because the dessert pizzas were vegan at Pizza Hut. Vegan dessert pizzas. And then I would have to make my own that you couldn't just order on the menu, because I would have to do certain things to make them vegan, because I don't think the sauce was vegan. You'd have to use the sauce from the spaghetti, because they had spaghetti and meatballs there, and the spaghetti sauce came in like a prepackaged bag, and that was vegan. So I would make my pizzas, and only a couple of the crusts were vegan. So I would wait until all the orders were done. I would clean everything up, make sure there was no cross-contamination, and then I would have a brand new shell, put my vegan sauce on there, have freshly cut veggies that I would put on there. Obviously, this is back in the 90s with no cheese, so I would just make it like that. Put some seasoning on it, put it through the thing, have a nice washed pizza cutter right out of the dishwasher. And then boom, there was my lunch or dinner or whatever I brought home with me, and I would make my own pizzas that way. But now I think things have changed, and you can get different vegan pizzas there now too. Yes, I will have to make dessert pizzas. The way we made them back then was we'd have like a strawberry or a blueberry. I think it was just strawberry and blueberry. All over the thin crust pizza, and then there's like a graham cracker topping that you'd put on top, which was all vegan. And then once it would come out of the oven, like a frosting kind of thing that you'd put on it like this, like a checkerboard, and then you'd cut it all up, boom, dessert pizza. So that's what I would try to make nowadays. Like, I think I'm going to make one like that. Use my knowledge of working at different pizza places and try to make my own vegan, which I don't have to try. I can just do it, because there is no try. There's only do. Good night, Elaine. Oh, what else did I make that? And I learned how to make that awesome. It was like the first job I ever had. And when I was a janitor at a travel plaza, a throughway travel plaza. So not only was I a janitor, but I would also learn if they needed me for different things. So my general job, I was a janitor. It wasn't very fun, but it was my first job. And but they had Sbarro's there, and they had Dunkin' Donuts there, and then they had a TCBY. And sometimes if they needed extra people, I would not be working they'd call me in for not janitor, but I'd be working at Sbarro's or at Dunkin' Donuts. And I just basically learned how to make things vegan. So there was this one pizza there that I really liked. Now this is before I was vegan. I was only a vegetarian at the time. And it was a stuffed pizza, not just stuffed crust, but the entire pizza was like a stuffed pizza, and it was broccoli, spinach, and cheese and sauce, and it was just really, really good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a vegan version. After I stopped working there and I went vegan, I'm like, hey, I already know how to do this. I'm gonna make a vegan version of it. So I made a vegan version of it, and it's like one of my favorite things to make. It's in my cookbook. I have a video on it. This is back before I was in the video, so I got John doing it. But it's a really, really, really good pizza recipe. I highly recommend it if you guys haven't tried it out. what are some other things that I made? I worked at a place, more of like an upscale place here in Syracuse called Possibilities. So I learned how to do a few different things there. And then I think after that, that was the last time I ever worked at in the food industry. Yeah, it was. And then, because I didn't like working, because I never worked at an all vegan place. And this is like, the last time I worked at one was almost 20 years ago. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't like working at these places anymore that have meat and stuff here. So I just took all the knowledge that I learned from the restaurant business and said, I could start my own restaurant. And that's really what I wanted to do for a long time. I still do, but that's more of like a long-term goal. Like later on down the line, maybe maybe when YouTube's over with, or if it ever ends or whatever, maybe I'll be like, all right, let's start a restaurant, a vegan pizza shop where pizzas and subs and antipasta, all kinds of stuff that we would make at a pizza parlor, wings, everything vegan. Make our own vegan cheese, our own vegan meats, crust, all that stuff. How's that sound, guys? You guys all want to come to the Vegan Zombie? And I can say this now because whatever, but the name that I always wanted for this was the Pizza Apocalypse or Apocalypse Pizza. But within the last how many years, somebody took the name and opened their own. They're in up in Toronto. We just went there. But that's what I've wanted to do for the longest time. Should have bought the name a long time ago. Will it have bubble tea? I don't know, maybe. I used to get bubble tea a lot. My friend owns a bubble tea shop down here in Syracuse called Roji. A lot of vegan options. But yeah, I wanted it to be like, kind of like Vegan Zombie related, like zombies on the wall and stuff, but not like, gross zombies to gross people out, but like more like cartoonish, like zombies kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a time and a place for it, but not in a food joint. So some happy, friendlier zombie looking artwork on the wall. See, I'm already got like the artwork for it. I don't even have a business plan. Zombie eating solutions. The vegan zombie bro. The vegan zombro. The vegan zombro. I could name it the vegan zombie. I already own the trademark for that. And by the way, there's a lot of people ripping me off because if you see clothing or artwork out there that says the vegan zombie, like they don't have permit. Like I own the trademark for that, and there's a lot of people out there using my thing, and I can't believe it. Like it's impossible to like address it all because there's so many of them. I actually own Lucky Number 11. Jim, you're gonna do the murals for me? All right, sounds good. Sounds good to me. We're going to open up a vegan pizza shop. We'll try to do it right here in Syracuse, too. We'll try to bring some more vegan business to Syracuse. Because there's only one vegan place here. And I really need there to be more than that. So you can't rely on other people. Do it yourself. That's what I'm going to do. There's a Facebook group called Vegan Zombies. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff called. Every time there's a new platform that opens, I go to take, Vegan Zombie and somebody owns it. The thing that's irritating now is when I go to my Instagram to tag my Vegan Zombie account on something, and I start typing the vegan. Now I don't come up, and I'm the Vegan Z. I still don't come up. Somebody else comes up as the Vegan Zombie, and it's not me. And it's like, really? So then I have to type like the whole thing out just to get my name to come up. Travis, there you go. You could be my pizza cook. Sounds good to me. No, that's not right. Because I am the vegan zombie on Instagram. And I have a verified account, which means I got the blue check. Oh, that felt so good to get that blue check. I'm like, oh my God, like I never thought I was going to get it. But I woke up one day, I'm like, what's this notification? Never seen this. Oh my God, I got the blue check. And I got it. I mean, that says a lot, you know, when you have a blue check. You know, people go to your account and they, like, you, I mean, I know I do. Whenever I see, like, a blue check on somebody, I'm like, oh, who's this that commented? Blue check. And I've had this account for a very long time, too. And it's always been the vegan zombie. But somebody else made one, and it's not even the vegan zombie. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. Oh, I definitely would love to do that. I have a frame photo of George Romero. I love George Romero. He is my all-time favorite director. And I was very sad when in summer of 2017, when I knew that I could never, ever do an interview with him. Yes, you could be the janitor. We'll have a whole. We'll get all the vegans to work there. See, that's the hard part. You know, talking to Joel. Joel's my friend that owns Strong Hearts Cafe. You know, it's just almost impossible to get, you know, vegan people to work it. You know, you need to hire people, and it's, you know, I think at first there was a lot of vegans working there, but then, you know, like you have to hire people, and people put in applications. So a lot of people that work there aren't vegan. Where am I? I'm in Syracuse, New York. What is a blue check? A blue check means it's hard to get. It's you're a verified user. A verified user, and you have to send in all this criteria. Like, I had to show them that I am who I am, the vegan zombie. I think you have to be like a public figure, and there has to be some kind of, like, if somebody Googles you, you have to come up in like some kind of search result. And I mean, I'm in a lot of, you know, I'm in magazines, and even Psychology Today did a column with me. So I had a lot of that stuff that I had to do, and I had to give them a picture of my license, and I did that. And I just never thought that I would. I think I screenshotted it, but I just opened my Instagram one day, and I was like genuinely like surprised and happy at the same time. I just opened it up, and I was like, oh, what's this mean? What are they trying to spam me now? I'm like, what? You have been I'm like, what? And I ran over. I didn't run over, but I moved my fingers to go over to the main page, and there I had it, the blue check. Boom. Official. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm a celebrity there, but I definitely got the blue check. And a lot of celebrities have the blue check. So now when I go to a post and I comment, like, my comment will be up there ahead of like most of the other people. So you see people with the comment with the blue check, and they usually stand out as like, oh, this person, I don't know, whatever. No, I'm not one of the most famous people from Syracuse. I'm like number, what was I, like 40? I'm like way. There's a lot of people ahead of me, but I guess if you're talking about population of Syracuse, yeah, then yeah. Let's see where I am today. All right, let's do this. Oh, there I am. Syracuse. I'm number 40. That's not that good. I think I was 32 at one point. But you got to go over to this page, and you got to boost it. Bam. That'll boost me. I don't care about the other ones. I was just like really excited about the Syracuse one. Oh wait, let's see. Who else? There's Cheap Lazy Vegan. She's also fans also view Cheap Lazy Vegan. Oh, I'm also next to Chris Brown. People with the name Chris. And oh, people born on the same day as me. I don't know those guys. Extension, both Aquarius. I don't know. It's really cool to have the blue check, but like, you know, I forgot about it after like a week. I'm like, oh my God, I got a blue check. And then it's like, oh yeah, I do. I got that blue check. Seriously, Angela? You you do know that's my all-time favorite song in the whole world, right? But I think you spelled it wrong. But it's Plain Song. That is my all-time favorite song on my all-time favorite album, which came out 31 years ago this month. May 1989. Disintegration by The Cure. Oh man, that brings back memories. And Plain Song is my all-time favorite song. And you're listening to it. Sometimes you make me feel like I'm living at the edge of the world. Please interview Cheap Lazy Vegan. Yeah, I would love to. I don't know her. I've never talked to her before. So set it up and we'll do it. What is that? Oh, it's called... Here, I'll give you the link straight to it. Famous birthdays. Bam. Oh, and just so you guys don't think I'm full of myself and did this myself, I didn't. They did this for me, and they contacted me and said, "You're up on our site. If there's any errors, let us know." And I clicked on it, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! I'm just a dude that does YouTube channels, and they think I'm famous. So whatever. Hey, if it could help me out, then I'm good with it." I sent him a couple pictures, and the whole thing, I sent him a couple pictures because they didn't have any pictures from me, and they said, you know, we'll pick a picture from your social media unless you want to send me one. So I sent him two, and the whole reason I picked the two that I did send him is because I was trying to promote my friends, the shirt that I was wearing. So I had like Tamerlane Farm Sanctuary that I wanted to promote, but they clipped all of that out of there and only used my face. They didn't want to put any of what I had on under. Oh, and if you could see the first picture of me, the one with, well, there's two of them. The one behind, there's a picture of E.T. behind me. It's the one that D. Wallace signed for me. Oh, thanks for the boost. Maybe oh, you guys actually, oh wait, no, never mind. They'll probably update it and I'll be in like the 30s if everybody goes and boosts it. But the funniest thing is the people born in Syracuse, the #1 celebrity is Post Malone. And he's ahead of like Tom Cruise and Rod Serling, Twilight Zone. These are all people, we were all born in the same city, Syracuse. So that is very important. Oh, we got a TikTok star that came in front of me. I'd never heard of him. Ryan. He's 21. He's a TikTok star. See, it's so easy to become a TikTok famous. I've never heard of him. I tried doing TikTok. Maybe I'll do some more TikTok. But mainly it's just all my dogs. Oh, we got a few TikTok stars now. Oh, so all you have to do is do some TikTok and you become famous. All right. All right, cool. Everyone's boosting. Yeah, Rod Serling should be at least in the top 5. But, you know, there's a lot of the newer generation, they have no clue who he is. But he definitely inspired like a ton of probably TV shows and movies of modern day. Thank you for all the boosts. I wonder if it will do anything. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's how I feel. Anything that I can get a platform going, then hey, it's easier to promote what I do. Oh man, I think we're gonna get going in a couple minutes here. So get your last questions, and I can't believe how late it is. I feel like it's midday for me, but it's 1 in the morning, Friday night. It's just the way. It's just the way I smile. He said. You saw Twilight Zone that was pretty much Final Destination. Yeah, all these movies took from the Twilight Zone. Pretty much. Theme for video. For this video? Was Ariana Grande there? Wait, Ariana Grande? She was vegan at one point. I don't know if she still is, but she was saying she was vegan, but then she went into that big whole scandal where she went in that bakery and she licked the cupcake, which obviously I don't think it was a vegan cupcake. And she got a lot of crap over that. My cookbook is not available because it's out of print. The printer stopped printing my cookbook. So in order for me to get any more, Rod Serling really did have a great voice. I have to find a new publisher. You've seen every Twilight Zone. That's a lot of Twilight Zones. I do remember the Twilight Zone movie. Let the midnight sound. You want to see something scary? No, I mean it's really scary. Are you sure? And Anthony, he wanted a peanut butter cheeseburger. Anthony. Oh, you're going to go watch Willow, Mad Mardigan. Have fun, Angela. They air every Twilight Zone episode on New Year's Day. They should do it on Christmas Day because Christmas Day is his birthday. Rod Serling was born on Christmas Day. You were just going to quote that. What were you going to quote? See, I've said so many things, I don't know what I've quoted when I'm quoting. Yeah. Yeah, licking non-vegan donuts is definitely not vegan. All right, guys. I hear Zeke whining outside my door, so I'm going to get going. Everybody have a great night. Yeah, oh, they want to see something scary. Yeah, I need to see that again. So I'll see you guys later. Try to come up with a new recipe for the new live stream in the kitchen. And yeah, Stay safe. Watch out for zombies. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe if you're not already.